Welcome to another live session at the lab. I am Al, joined by my brothers Gabe, Marcus, Rick, and Matt. What's poppin', fellas?
What it do? What it do?
What's up?
Thank you for stopping by.
Nice. I know we're gonna. Well, before we get into the heavy shit, let's get into the what the fuck shit first. So, scientists have gone ahead and re-engineered, if you will, the direwolf. Now, just roll tape so this lady can explain it a lot better than I can.
We're just doing Jurassic Park now. Let's talk about it. A biotech company has just claimed to have de-extincted the direwolf using DNA editing technology, but did they actually? In order to truly bring an animal back from extinction, you need to use ancient DNA samples in order to reconstruct their entire genome, which is just a fancy word for all the DNA inside each of their cells. Then take an egg cell from a closely related living animal, remove its DNA, replace it with the reconstructed DNA from the extinct animal, and then implant it into a viable host womb. The animal born as a result should be genetically indistinguishable from a member of an extinct species, i.e. a perfect clone. The problem is that 10,000-year-old DNA is very difficult to work with. Most of the time, it's basically crumbs. So what these scientists did instead was take fresh DNA from living modern-day wolves, use the DNA editing technology CRISPR-Cas9 to tweak around 14 of their genes in order to give them physical traits that dire wolves would have had. They figured out which genes they needed to tweak by comparing that 10,000-year-old direwolf DNA with the DNA of modern-day wolves to figure out what genetically the direwolves had that modern-day wolves didn't. So in theory, if you compared 10,000-year-old direwolf DNA to the DNA of these puppies that were just born, they should be genetically indistinguishable. But again, 10,000-year-old DNA is famously difficult to get any good information out of, so this methodology might be a little bit shaky. These are not dire wolves per se. They are gray wolves that have been genetically engineered to closely match our best estimate of a dire wolf. And depending on your definition of de-extinct, this isn't even the closest we've ever come. In 2009, before a lot of y'all were probably even born, a perfect genetic clone of an extinct species of ibex was born in Spain. To be fair, that species of ibex only went extinct in the year 2000, and scientists were able to save some of its cells in liquid nitrogen, which means that the DNA samples they had access to had held up a lot better than 10,000-year-old fossilized DNA. Also, the ibex did die a couple days after it was born due to some defects in its lungs that are frequently seen in attempts to clone animals. So, to be fair to the direwolves, they seem to be holding up a lot better so far. Now, I want to emphasize that what these scientists did was extremely impressive, and also just really cool. As someone who's trying to find new ways to use CRISPR-Cas9 to treat human disease, any steps that we make towards safe and effective DNA editing in living creatures is a huge win in my book. But whether or not these guys can actually be called true direwolves opens up some really interesting philosophical questions about DNA and genetics. Let me know in the comments what you think. Are these truly direwolves, or are they just gray wolves that have had some of their genes tweaked?
And there you have it.
So
How do y'all feel?
I did some research today when, right before the pod so I could kind of get my head wrapped around what exactly is a dire wolf?
It's a wolf that went extinct about 10,000 years ago. That's kind of an oversized gray wolf. They don't know if there's anything special about it. It sort of came to light because of Game of Thrones. Also, this story coming out is kind of weird because they actually, the two males that you're seeing in the story they're like a year old. This was like a year ago. What just happened is they made the female. So the female is actually the one that was just born and is 3 months old. So it's kind of weird that this story is coming out now. That's the thing that caught me off. They did this a year ago. Those males are a year old.
Because they've also been working on the woolly mammoth.
That one
So
too.
it's like,
Yeah,
Here's
those
my
thing.
those running around.
yeah, those dire wolves are a lot bigger than the gray
They're
wolf.
just real big.
Yeah. But essentially, like she pointed out, they're not really dire wolves.
They're not a dire wolf. They're a cloned mutt of 3 different species.
Mm-hmm. Now, mixing that kind of shit, you gotta wonder, like, how fucking safe is that? Because we still ain't heard nothing about those monkeys that escaped out in South Carolina, except that they caught them. We don't know what they're doing with those monkeys.
About this shit forever.
Oh, I heard about a few. 2 of them are living in my house.
Oh.
That's Matt at AOL.com. Matt at AOL.com. But my thing is like with scientists, like stop fucking with shit. Like if they're not here anymore, they're not here anymore.
There's a fucking reason.
Let it be. Granted, some of these species have been hunted to extinction, but look, if they're not here, they're not here, man. We don't need those kind of problems. We see how that shit plays out in the movies. We don't need those kind of problems. The dogs still look cute, but
They are, yeah.
Definitely going to be a different species.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see how long they live. We'll see how long they live. We'll see how
That's
that
true,
works
too.
out for them. But for the most part, scientists need to stop fucking around. We don't need woolly mammoths. We don't need dire wolves. We don't need any of that. They're also working on dinosaurs too, trying to play that Jurassic Park bullshit.
doing
Like,
it.
we don't
Mhm.
we don't need those kind of problems, man.
I also heard
At
they're
all.
trying to bring back the dodo bird too.
We got
We
plenty
saw
of
what
those here already, Gabe.
Huh?
We got plenty of those here already.
I'm sure we do.
A lot
We
of them
saw
are in
what
DC.
happened. Last time somebody tried to play with animals, them bats escaped from China. In 2020.
Mm.
2020 became a movie, didn't it?
When those bats escaped, a lot of Chinese restaurants opened up here in the States too. That's neither here nor there. But
Trump keep fucking around with China, we're gonna have some more coronavirus in this
Oh,
thing.
for real.
man, yeah, we'll leave that for another.
Yeah.
Yeah. But speaking of politics, Daredevil. Senor Kingpin, or as we'll call him Mayor Kingpin. Y'all catch this new episode?
I did.
Sure did.
Fell asleep twice.
Can't believe you, Rick.
He had to watch it twice. He fell
I
asleep.
can't
the
get
first
past
time.
10 fucking minutes of an episode without falling asleep. I'm like getting to a point where I'm just like, oh my god.
Stop turning it on at your bedtime.
So
Before we get into it, I have been hearing that they're going to split this into 2 seasons because they were having production issues. I don't know how true that is because we're already at episode 9?
I think 8
yeah.
just came out,
It's 8.
and 9 is next.
9 is this weekend.
Comes out. Yeah.
Okay. Because I heard there were production issues and that, like that bank episode, that they were considering filler episodes. That we're going to get like 7 or 8 episodes of those, and then like 9 great episodes. But we'll see.
Like different people producing it, like different directors. Like the people that are directing these last few are gonna like do the rest of the series. So like you can tell like which episodes are directed by the former director. It's like that bank episode. Like you could tell like the way it looked, the way it was shot, some of the choreography and whatnot. So I don't know. I like the show, man.
No. I do too. I certainly do too. In this episode, Marcus, where Bullseye calls Daredevil in for help. Now you know how Daredevil's been fighting with that, with that side of him. When Daredevil finally had enough and smashed this dude's face into the table. I don't know why I was thinking, because it literally has nothing to do with Daredevil, nothing. But I was like, you know what? That's what Marcus should do to that cat that's living in his house.
Oh shit!
Just take that cat by the tail and just slam it from wall to wall. This dude did dirt. I don't know why that.
Whatever we do. Hey, that's cool. Whatever we do, please do not clip that. Please do.
Oh, we know why Al said that and thought that. We've heard your stories, Al.
No, we don't. Well, we don't. No, let's save that for the Let's save this for the full length.
That's for off air shit.
Let's not make it short.
Let's not get dark again.
Because
I
already got in trouble.
Essentially,
recently, I don't want to get in trouble again.
Yeah, that's messed up. Because because there are a couple of ladies I left off the list. We'll touch on that another time. But
Oh God.
yeah, you should. But either way,
Wow.
Now, the thing, man, like seeing Bullseye back was dope. But bro, when this cat was getting fixed up and like he essentially spit that tooth at old boy, it's like I
dude,
was telling my girl, like this dude is literally like anything can become a projectile, like anything can become a weapon. Anything he touches can become a deadly weapon. It's insane. It's insane. I
I
like
knew
the
what he
actor
was
that
doing when
plays
he
him
was
too.
doing that
Like
with his
he's cool.
tooth.
He's got to give him the suit though. They got to. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was saying it the whole time. Like he's getting out. He's not going to stay in prison. It doesn't make sense.
It's
No.
But my thing is like, why would not to like jump ahead? Like why would what's up?
Oh no, I was gonna say that
What happened?
I couldn't. That one scene when he was smashing his face into the, I couldn't figure out why he was telling him thank you at the end until I seen the scene when he was getting patched up, and he said thank
Set
you
it up
because
for him.
he knocked his tooth out.
Yeah.
He gave him the means to get out.
Yeah.
And I think
They
Daredevil knew what he was
They
doing
gave
as
him a
well.
weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he gave his ass a weapon. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Daredevil knew what he was doing.
I mean, this is what's bothering me about the show. Why won't Matt just tell his girl that he's the Daredevil? Like, because he's thinking that Fisk picked her because, like, to
And he
keep
did.
tabs on him and be close to him. So if you already have that mindset, she's in danger anyway, bro. So you might as well tell her what the hell's going on. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand like why he's playing this game and being mysterious.
Now,
It's like, bro,
let me pose
telling each other
this
you love
question
each
to
other.
y'all.
Like, if I was a superhero, I'd tell my girl.
Do you think she can handle it though?
See, that's the thing. A lot of superheroes and like stuff
Yeah.
like that, and Marvel, everybody kind of hides their identity from everybody else.
Part of their
So
lore.
it's like, yeah, I
Mhm.
kind of understand why he's kept it to himself. Because when you're with her, you are just you. You're
But that's
not
the thing. Is
Daredevil anymore.
like he feels that like Fisk is keeping tabs on him. Like, so she's already essentially in danger. So it's like if she has that information, she can move, a little bit smarter. Not to say that she's
See, here's
doing
my
stupid
thing.
shit, but you know what I mean. Like that's
Can she
protecting
hold
her.
it
In my
together
opinion.
enough? Can she hold it together enough to move smarter? Because you see how she handled the Muse situation.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like, letting
Yeah,
her
but
know that
he's a villain though. Like Daredevil saved her.
not according to her, she saved herself. She won't even give Daredevil that kind of credit.
Of course she wouldn't.
I
She's a
mean,
woman.
technically she did because she
That is
fucking
Matt
clapped
at
him.
AOL.com.
Oh man.
But like, I feel like she
But I mean,
wouldn't be
like
able to
I don't know.
handle
I
it.
feel like at some point she gonna figure it out.
I don't know. I don't think she could act well enough around him and not be scared of him enough. Because this dude makes people nervous,
Yeah.
including Daredevil, who has hands. We all know this.
The Daredevil?
You know he's nervous about Kingpin, even though he wants to get in that. Because we'll get into that. Now, speaking of nervous, Artemis, that lady in white at the
But I'm
party.
saying he's not giving her context for why he's thinking the way he's thinking.
True, but again, I don't think she can handle it if he were to, because she's a little. I don't want to sound sexist, but like a little too emotional right now.
She's a flight risk. She's a flight risk.
Hey,
Tells her.
she's scared, man.
I'm scared. Don't be scared and confused.
You know. And again, go ahead, Gabe.
I think she'll figure it out.
I don't know, man. I think she's a little weak.
She analyzes everything, bro. I'm telling you, she's gonna figure it out.
To the point where it makes her a little weak.
Oh, let's see what happens.
Because, You know who the true gangster is in the show? Mrs. Fisk.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mrs. Fisk is the true G. But that chick Artemis, Marcus is disappearing. I don't know if you guys know the chick in white at the party that my man from Hawkeye with the sword was talking to, and she was acting all nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Who is she? Does anyone know?
I don't.
I feel like they highlighted for a reason, but I don't know.
Marcus, do you know who she is? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I think it's something to do with her, whoever her man is. I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up. I'm not too sure what her character is.
I think they said his name was Arthur. Is it Arthur or some shit? I could be wrong. But either way, she was super nervous. And then we have our swords guy.
Mm-hmm.
What is his name? I forget his name.
Jack.
Yes, Jack.
Jack DeQuest. I can't remember his last name. I know.
It's
I remember
too French
from
for you.
Hawkeye.
It's too French for you. Yeah.
And he's a swordsman. You know what I loved about that scene with the two of them? Like the way that they shot it, like how imposing Kingpin is, like not just verbally what he's saying, but like size wise. Even when he stood up, it was like, yo, he is fucking humongous compared to Jack. Jack's not a little dude.
No.
He's like towering over him. And like he strong armed him essentially. It was like, hey dude.
You see, but you see the angle he took with him.
Mm-hmm. He didn't ask him for a donation. He told him like you're gonna be donating.
Mm-hmm.
You figure out the number.
Literally pegged him. Literally pegged him as a vigilante.
Yeah.
But at no point, like even though he strong armed him to a point, my man didn't like bitch out, if you will.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. He didn't back down. But he ran off of that though. Like, if you think about it, how Kingpin's his political, like, damn, what's the word I'm looking for? Either way, that's what his agenda was when he was running for mayor. It was like he's gonna get rid of vigilantes. They took credit for Muse even though they did nothing. You know? So
you know who's gonna end up dead is that police commissioner.
Oh yeah. Sure. He's done.
Yeah. Hopefully he talks to BB and gets some info out there, but he's dead. Yeah, he's good as dead.
Because here's my thing. Well, BB kind of set him up. You don't approach this dude at a party where there's eyes on you everywhere.
And I kind of think that she's kind of like, I don't want to say against Fisk, but remember, like they said that Fisk killed her uncle, or is it her? No, it's her dad. No, it's her uncle.
Her uncle.
Like he was the main suspect. Like he did that. So I feel like maybe she's trying to like work it from an inside angle.
And you know she knows this too, because I think she has some kind of evidence that her uncle left behind, showing that Fisk killed him. So I think that's going to play a part pretty soon. Now, where you at with the show, Matt? How are you liking it so far? What are we, 7 episodes in? We said.
I think the one that just came out was the 8th.
Was it 8th?
I'm liking it so far. I mean, especially this most recent one. It was super intense. You know, it really showed like a good battle between evil and good. And it's like it's kind of encapsulating a lot about like what the comics were showing too, and I really like that aspect of it. Because like a lot of these Marvel movies and shows and stuff, like they show bits and pieces of it, but I feel like this is stuck pretty close to how the comics went.
Pimping. To speak on that and to go back to Mrs. Fisk, when Kingpin showed her where he was keeping her lover, and she picked that gun up, what she put in him 3?
Yeah,
because the last one was in the face. This is a dude that had his penis inside you at one point, and you just blew his head off.
Yeah, she's a beast for that.
Well,
Pimping.
He really didn't matter to her. He really didn't matter to her.
Hey fellas, I'm about to switch over. I'm having some lagging on my end.
No problem, boss. No
Okay, I
problem.
can stay with the conversation the right way.
This is the beauty of being live, ladies and gents. This kind of stuff right here. We hope you can appreciate this. But speaking on her being a G too, and when Marcus comes back, we'll bring it back up. But like, you saw Daredevil about to just say "fuck it,"
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
He was walking towards him. He was like, "It's about to be right now, dude. It's
And
about
they
to be
keep
right
teasing
now."
that. They've been teasing that shit since like the second or first episode. That
Rick,
he's
I've
he's
been
coming smart.
waiting. I've been waiting for these guys to fight.
I know
Like,
it's
it
Yeah.
shouldn't be just one fight with these guys. You know, we should get multiple fights with these guys.
Well, they're
Who?
cutting promos right now. They're cutting the promos right now. They're
King,
building up.
Kingpin and Daredevil, because we were speaking of, because I wanted to go back to speaking on how his wife is a gangster and how
Oh
she's
yeah.
smart too. Because you saw Matt was just like, "Fuck it, man." He's like, "I'm gonna fight this dude right here." He didn't care what his girl was saying. Mrs. Fish saw this
Mm-hmm.
and immediately snatched his ass up.
yep.
Well, she
And
might
you
be
see how,
more cold blooded than Fisk.
because you saw how when Matt figured it out, he was like, "Yo, this bitch had Foggy killed."
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw how she tried to pull away from him, and he snatched her up. He's like, "Nah,
Mhm.
bitch."
Yeah, where you going? Where you going?
I think she's more cold blooded than the mayor is, bro. Because
Bro.
at least he has her as his like moral compass. Like I don't know what hers is.
That's kind of scary
Yeah.
for her to be the compass.
Yeah. And like as soon as he gave her the option with the key and the gun, I was like, well, Adam's dead. I was like,
Pretty much. Because with a woman, what is her moral compass? If it's
seems
not
like
her
hers is
man.
power. It seems like power is hers. Like that's her motive for everything she does is power, control. Even shit to a degree, controlling Fisk. You know, like she knows that she's got his ass on lock. Whatever she says or does, he's with it.
Right.
So it's about to get
Dude,
scary,
even the
man.
streets are scared of her.
Shit, I am.
And even like the cliffhanger from episode 7, like when she
How you ain't
texts,
lying, Matt?
was it his name Luca? When she texted him where he was gonna be and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, she set his ass up because he got
Mhm.
smart, he got fresh. It was like, yeah,
Mhm.
it was better when you were in charge. It's like, well, you don't make that decision, bro.
And
he
you
got
know,
his ass taken up out of
it's
here.
one thing I want to point out about men too. Well, I shouldn't say men. I should say stupid men. Underestimating a woman.
Yep.
All right, because
Mhm.
we can talk on
Facts.
how a woman can be a man's moral compass. You know, help keep him
Mhm.
centered, help keep
Mhm.
him on the track of doing good. But again, I asked you, what was her or what is a woman's moral compass? If it is, she doesn't have a child. So if it
No.
isn't her man, what is? What keeps her walking that line? You know what I'm saying? If it isn't love, if it isn't him, there isn't a baby or a child in. That goes
That's what
for
they
her and
got
for
to
women,
explore.
period.
Like, they have to keep exploring that because I think, like Matt was saying, I think she's scary as shit, man. I think she's scarier than Fisk.
Bro,
And we
and you know
saw
what?
what he's capable of. We
Again,
haven't even
written by a
seen
woman.
the
Written
levels
by
he'll
a
go.
woman. I'm gonna throw that out there again. It's written by a woman. So she's gonna be.
But think about it too, though. She would have to be that way to be with a man like him. Like she would have to
Yes.
be gangster in her own
You
right
had to be.
to deal with the shit that he does, knowing what he
Because
does.
look at what Matt's dealing with.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mrs. Fisk is a G.
Mm-hmm.
Matt's girl is a punk bitch. Basically.
I mean,
Walter White's wife.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I keep coming
I
back
wouldn't
to
know. I
that
haven't
though.
watched the show. Don't want to get into that, but I will.
Wow.
Like the way like they're like when they're arguing like to start the episode, and it's like she made good points, and he is acting strange, but it's like, bro, just tell her what the hell is going on, man. And he's trying to like vouch for like, oh well, the Daredevil helped you, and, like you weren't there, blah blah blah. It's like, bro, just tell her. Either two things can happen. She's gonna be cool with it, or she's gonna be scared and run away. I would assume.
And if she's scared and run away, don't you think she's going to
dead.
give him up?
No, I
mean, at that point, you got to. You know, he ain't going to kill her.
No, he's not going to. Fisk is definitely going to. I feel like that's where the climax is coming. Like, at some point, Fisk is going to use her as a bait, essentially, to get Daredevil to fully come back out. And I don't know if she survives it, to be fair. Like, in the comics, like, they wrote the character a little different. Like, I feel like this is more of an original take on it, but I feel like she's definitely like the sacrifice that's happening or that's coming. Because outside of her, Matt doesn't have anything else. Like, Foggy's dead. Karen's on the other side of the country. You know, his fucking cop homeboy is a dickhead. I hate this dude, Cherry.
You know, with a name like Cherry, man, that's like calling a dude delicious.
So that's a stripper name.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
and his partner, I don't like her. Like, she talks to him like he works for her. Like,
oh yeah.
I don't
you know, until she finds out, she just needs a little spanking. I'm not trying to sound sexist.
Cherry knows that he's the Daredevil, right? In the first episode, he saw him throw Bullseye off the damn roof.
Mm-hmm.
So he knows, and he's like, "Oh, you're ruining your life." It's like, bro, he cannot be Daredevil. And like, at some point, he's gonna figure it out too. Like, he has to do that, whether it's right or wrong. That's what he is.
Now, Gabe,
yeah,
where would you chance if you were under the employ of Mrs. and Mr. Fisk? Would you chance dipping your wick in her when he wasn't around?
Nah, bro. You don't stick your hand in somebody else's cookie jar, bro.
That's suicide, bro.
I mean,
absolutely not.
He was gone, man. I mean,
hey, that's great. Unless he's 6 feet under, bro. No, man, you don't play that game.
Nah, bro, you don't do that.
I mean, I think we've all known Al when Al was 25.
I was gonna say I must be a dog. Man.
Here we go.
I'm saying, man.
Well, you know, he likes it. That's why he talking that shit.
Y'all talking like regular people. Nah, man, that dude is a savage. He ain't gonna just kill you, bro. It's gonna be brutal.
I mean, look,
it ain't worth it. It's not worth it. There's so
cocaine is a hell of a drug, little bro. You know what I'm saying? Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Women out here.
Yeah, there's still. I know there's still mad bitches out there for that, bro. Nah,
but they ain't as they're not as powerful. They're not as gangster. They're not as crazy as this bitch right here.
Listen, it's like what Kendrick said to Drake in their little battle, where he said, "Fucking on Wayne's girl," while he was in prison. That's why you gonna fuck on somebody else's girl, bro? Fuck on all these single women in the world. Why you got to fuck somebody else's girl? That's crazy.
Look,
we thought I know.
We thought he left. We thought he was dead. She was lonely. Rick, am I alone here?
Did you see an obituary?
What up, D?
Did you see an obituary? I didn't see one. Did
you go
to a funeral service? No, I'm saying.
Yeah, I was there. I was there praying for him, and then I went home the night after.
Listen, I feel y'all. I will warn you. I'm just telling y'all. I love you guys. I will warn you. It's not worth it, man. But some chicks, come on, bro. Chicks worth your life. What are we talking about now?
That's all life is about.
Y'all acting like I can't put hands on the kingpin too. Y'all acting like I can't put hands on the kingpin.
No, it's not worth dying, bro. Man, unless these are like golden cheeks.
Got a lot of resources. Kingpin got a lot of resources.
Bro, you talking about golden cheeks? Like, this is life changing. Your life's over.
Shit, what they might be. Look, you ain't gonna know unless you find out.
My man was slipping when he got caught up. All right, my man was slipping when he got caught up.
Listen,
I'd have told Kingpin, be like, "Hey, dog, we thought you was dead, man."
You know what the saying
and look,
is, you play stupid games, you get
that'll
stupid prizes.
Yeah, exactly. That'll make the difference, bro.
3.5 minutes, dog. That's all it was. 3.5 minutes. It wasn't even that serious.
Bro, this man petty as shit. You see how he is about her. Imagine just looking at her, let alone fucking her. Come on, bro.
Then I would have had to point it out to him and be like, "Hey, nigga, if you feel this way, why did you leave? Oh, what? You got shot in the face? You don't have a cell phone, motherfucker? You don't have a secretary to call this bitch?
You got shot in the face.
You got shot in the face. Right now.
Hey, look. You know what I'm saying?
real
Okay,
shit.
he got shot
If
in the
you do it,
face. You don't mean to tell me he don't got a little minion to call his wife?
listen. If you gonna do
He
it,
wasn't
you need
about
to
it.
show
If
up.
he
Pull up at his house and kill him after you do it. Don't even wait for him.
Hey,
Right.
y'all
Kill
seen
him.
The Walking Dead, right? Glenn got his shit busted in. His eyeball was hanging out. And he still mustered the words, I will find you. This nigga wasn't about her. He don't love her, dog. He gonna let getting
Who?
shot in the face stop him
Fist?
from call.
Oh,
Yeah,
he
you know,
loves
fuck
her.
that, man. Fuck
He
that.
Today's
loves
men's
her.
so weak. She stabbed you one time. You asking for
Yeah.
it.
Right.
In and out.
You talking crazy, man. This man got shot
Yeah,
in
I'm just
the
talking
face,
shit.
bro.
Hey,
Yes,
my
Huey,
He
brother.
definitely
yes.
has, Huey. He
Uh,
definitely
Yes.
has, bro.
Hey,
I
me
feel
and
bad for
Al the
calling you
same.
Huey all the time.
Listen, luckily enough, it wasn't the Kingpin's girl you was fucking on. That's all I'm gonna say.
oh, there's never trouble in paradise, Hugh. There's never trouble. I
That's an
love
interesting.
my wife more than the world and life itself, and she knows
And
this.
my wife's name is Paradise, Hugh. So there you go.
You know,
Oh,
but
but I
a
want to
long
jump.
time. I will say
Hold
this
on.
though, Hugh, not to jump off. A long time ago, yeah, you know, granted, I wasn't with anyone, so anyone's wife or girl, like if you weren't my brother or my friend, yeah, she was game. You know, and if she told me she was married or had a girl, that was better for me because I didn't have to deal with the bitch.
Oh my
And
god.
if she had,
Oh man, that's wrong. That is wrong.
that's terrible, Hugh. That
That
is
is.
terrible, Hugh.
Mm.
Hey,
But like, if she had game, she was taking her husband's money and spending it on me.
I
And you know,
mean,
I appreciated that because I never had to come out my pocket. But for the
if
most
she,
part, you know,
if she
But
throwing the shit, I'm catching it. That's all
now
I
it's a
gotta
little
say.
different if it's somebody you don't know.
but hey,
hey, Hugh, believe me, Rick and Marcus have heard worse
Watch
from
out.
me. So
What?
don't worry, buddy.
with the way that the episode ended, though, the cliffhanger, like
Yes.
why would he jump in front of Fist? Why would he save him?
That's my thing too, man.
There's got to be something more to it.
Cause he trying to smash on something.
I mean, look, you saw how close he was dancing with Fist's wife.
Oh my god,
And you saw how
come
when he
on, man,
snatched her up and she was trying to pull away, he's like, nah, bitch, you're gonna
that's
smell my
crazy.
breath.
So why would he
Oh, you're gonna
want?
smell.
Like, why would he want to smash her of all people? She just killed his best friend. Like, come on, man.
Like, dude,
I think
seeing
there's
what
more to it,
Kingpin
though. Like, I
seeing the
think there's
games
something.
Kingpin has been playing, I know Daredevil isn't like this. Matt Murdock isn't like this. This is just Al speaking from Al from a long time ago. Like, all right, you want to play games, dog? I'm gonna kiss your wife right here, right in front of
Oh my
everybody,
god.
right in front of you. Pick your hands up, homie.
And you gonna like it.
Pick your hands up. We gonna put on a show today. Right after I make out with your wife.
And you can sit in the
We can
corner
look.
and cuck if you want.
You know?
You feel me?
It won't be long. Just give me 3.5 minutes. In and out. In and out.
Shit.
She won't even know I'm there. She won't even know I'm there, but in and out.
Oh God.
Fuck a Kingpin, dude. But yeah, great episode. That is Daredevil again on Disney Plus.
Disney,
Feel free to check
Disneyland.
that out.
I like Disneyland.
Now, this is something that happened recently. I was kind of, waiting for more stuff to come out to see what's being said before like jumping on the bandwagon. But I mean, like, as soon as this shit happened,
You gotta dig it. You gotta dig to really know the whole story. The media is kind of
yeah. But as soon as this shit happened, I mean, the racist white people jumped on this. I mean, if you don't know, this is Karmelo Anthony. He was involved in a stabbing at a track meet. Folks are calling him a murderer, not even knowing what's going on, etc., etc. I do have one clip. I didn't have too many videos, but I do have one clip which someone discusses what an eyewitness saw. But go ahead and roll clip, babe.
Y'all, a
Right
witness
here.
came out and made a statement in the Karmelo Anthony case, and I have to let y'all hear this because this is the piece I have been missing, that I have been waiting and waiting and waiting for the witnesses, for the students around the situation to see what happened, and this is what he had to say.
Trying to get back to their cars, or
This is the witness.
get in, places where they, wouldn't get all extra wet. Dude was sitting up on the tent, right? He was on
Can
his
we hear
phone,
him?
right? My daughters was up under the
I hear
same
it.
goddamn tent. Yeah.
Okay.
He's talking about Carmelo.
I'm
I
paying
know
attention
he
to my
is.
kids, but at the same time, they're in the same vicinity, so I'm watching everything going on around it because I'm there for my children. So, dude walks up, McKellen, bro. He wasn't even under the tent at the time. They came from a whole separate tent.
He's talking about the twins.
Over there. They intentionally went over there to this kid, man. Dude was sitting there on his phone, just trying to get dry.
Carmelo was on his phone.
One thing went from another. They grabbed this man.
Grabbed him.
They tried to punch on dude. Dude went in
Yep.
there, and whatever, they went to try to jump this dude and punch on this dude, man. And he protected himself, dude. That's what happened.
Mind you, this man does not know Carmelo.
Just one. It was both of them, bro. Austin, that dude that's got unalive, and his brother, basically went over there to intentionally. It's not to the point that he brought a knife. For one, it wasn't on school property. The school is
wasn't on school property.
6 miles away. It was community track meet, bruh. It wasn't a school track meet.
Thank you. Fine.
So that doesn't really gel with.
Yeah, it doesn't really touch too much. But essentially, for those that don't know what's happened, this was a track meet or a football game. I can't remember which, but either way, it started to rain. Carmelo got permission from one of the other coaches to sit under this tent, even though he wasn't a part of even though his team wasn't under this tent. He had gotten permission to sit under this tent. It was raining. There were previous incidents with these twins. Now, we all know how I feel about bullying. We all know how I feel about certain shit in the United States. As a black person in the United States of America, I don't care what age you are, you should always be armed. Because this is the United States of racists. That's who runs this shit. Now, again, I'm not saying all white people are racist. We all know I don't think that. But for the most part, no black person should be walking around without a weapon.
Shit, most of the time I
Most
don't.
people, you know what I mean? Like,
because
I don't think that's a color thing either.
Well,
if you're gonna be,
seeing how we're getting hung left and right, again, no black person, if everyone wants to carry a weapon, of course, that's their right. But my advice to every black person, no matter what age you are, no matter what sex you are, you should always have a weapon on you. Always. Now, to go on, folks are calling him a murderer. He shouldn't have had a knife. Why shouldn't he have had a knife?
But here's the thing about it. My understanding and the majority of the info that I've got from it has been from all of the students that are around and the people that were around. You go and watch their videos, listen to what they're saying, etc., etc. He was being bullied by them kids for a minute, right? Not at this track meet, though.
No, this has been happening for a while.
He took that knife there with the intent to go over to the other side of the track and do that. It's all pointing to that. This was I'm going to get them now thing. Well, he wanted the one dude.
Before he stabbed him, he is heard saying, "Don't put your hands on me.
You're gonna see what's gonna happen if you touch me." That's
right.
what
if you touch me, if you touch me again, you're gonna see what happens. Now,
but here's the thing, though. The thing, though, that the controversy and all this, though, Al, and let's be honest, is it premeditated murder? If he went over there knowing that it was going to start a fight, and that he used the knife to stab them,
Because you might as well call me. Because look, I walk around
That's
with a weapon on
premeditated
me
murder.
I walk around with a weapon on me for situations just like this because I have
I
been
get it,
bullied.
but that's
I'm
not
not gonna.
defending yourself, though. That's the thing, Al. When you go to the fight,
He is
that's not
outnumbered.
defending yourself.
He is
He went
we
over
all
there.
know nobody is going to stand up for him. We all know
No,
nobody's going to. He is outnumbered by two twin brothers who were looking to jump him.
he went over there,
Now
though,
I've
Al.
been known to say this, even if
Now,
I'm
if the
now
boys
granted
came over there to him, it would be different. But he went over
the
there. He didn't have to go
the
over
boys
there.
did go over there to him
No,
and told him to move.
He went down
No,
to the
no, no,
other
no.
side.
My man was sitting under the tent, minding his own business. This is the account of I think it was like four witnesses.
Yeah,
He was
there's a
sitting
bunch
on.
of witnesses that say that
He
he
got
went there.
permission. It was
Yeah,
raining. He got permission to sit under said tent. These white boys rode up on him, told him to move. He didn't want to move. They put hands on him. He said, "You put hands on me again, you're going to see what happened." Now, this isn't the first time that they've
right.
had,
That's what.
confrontation. So, like, if I know I got 2, 3 motherfuckers that want to come after me, yeah, I'm going to rely on my hands, but a knife is going to help, or a gun is going to help too. It's going to even the playing field, because when they're snatching us up and hanging us, it isn't just one white dude. It's a group of them. They never come at us just one-on-one. Never. That's never been the situation in any of these cases. Gabe can even account for this after we filmed Takedown. I forget. I think it was Maspeth.
I was waiting for Metal.
All right. I think it was like Maspeth or something. Dude, a gang of white boys jumped out of a van trying to fucking kill us. The only reason why we didn't stand up and fight is because we had girls with us, and there was no way we were going to win that. You had 13 dudes jumping out of a van, chains, bat, bars, you name it. They never come at us one-on-one. So in Karmelo's case, now I don't know the full situation. I'm just going by the witnesses. And this sounds similar to what happened to the kid Kendrick in Georgia. You had a white boy bully him on the bus. Kendrick whooped his ass on the bus. That punk ass white boy's daddy, who was in the CIA or FBI, is like, "Hey, you need to come to my house and give my son a rematch." My man's like, "You're crazy." Not even a day or two later, even though Kendrick told folks he was being followed, he ends up wrapped up in a fucking mat. Oh, he committed suicide. Some say he could, they were trying to peg it as a suicide. Some say he was trying to retrieve a shirt. No. Those white boys, those brothers, ganged up on him, killed him. Now, I'm thankful that Karmelo stood up for himself. It's unfortunate that somebody had to die, but guess what? Sometimes a lesson needs to be taught for people to, I remember I told y'all, marching, protesting, that doesn't work. For this shit to stop and to stop fully, it's going to take people dying. And hopefully it's the people that are racist that die. Because they're quick to peg this dude as a murderer when he was defending himself. That's where I have a problem. This kid was but he brought a knife to a fucking track meet. So what? It should have been a gun. It would have made a louder statement.
But if he doesn't, who's to say they don't beat him to a pulp and he dies?
Well, I mean, at least you take 5 or 6 motherfuckers out.
That's being dramatic, but like if he doesn't bring something, like who's to say that they don't kill him?
Exactly. Who's to say he doesn't end up a tree ornament? I mean, again, he warned those dudes, touch me again and you're going to see what happened.
Yes, and I've seen that multiple times.
And I give it to Karmelo. He extended him a warning. You're just going to end up with my knife in your chest or a bullet in your face. I'm not going to say much. There's nothing to say. If you have the audacity to put your hands on me, that's how you're asking me to respond. Because I'm not going to respond with a hug or, turn the other cheek. I love God, but I'm not, again, I'm not going to allow that kind of bullshit.
He said,
I know what it is to be. You know what I mean? I know what it is to be bullied. And yeah, I don't mind how he responds. You know, if I'm wrong for feeling that way, hey, we're all entitled to our own opinion. I can give a fuck if you think if I'm wrong, but that kind of behavior is taught. That kid's father is talking about, oh, my son this, my son that. Well, you know what? You should have taught my man better. You should have taught your boys better.
But now he's got to go to prison for the rest of his life.
Well, not
Now we don't know yet.
necessarily.
We'll see how that plays out in court. And if he goes to jail, there should be a massive riot.
And
A massive riot.
one of the craziest things that I pulled from like looking deeper into this is the fact that the kid who died, his family put up a GoFundMe, raised like $350,000, and then the family for Carmelo put up a GoFundMe for him, and GoFundMe took down the page 3 times,
Because they
not
kept saying
allowing.
that it was for part of it was for his defense, and part of the go. That was I was gonna one of the comments I was gonna make, Matt, was that I was this case old when I found out you're not allowed to do a GoFundMe for a defense,
Regardless, what are those parents who
legal
what are
defense.
you doing raising money for that kid?
Hmm.
But Carmelo's family can't raise one to help him out.
Did you
That's
see?
something that
It
people should
looks
go
like
to
that goes.
GoFundMe about. You know,
It look that's kind of where I'm at with it. But a family who maybe can't afford his $1 million bond and the judge won't lower it, he's gonna go look to the public for help to help get my boy out.
yeah,
I
but
I didn't
GoFundMe is
understand that either. The bond was severely high.
Because
Insanely high.
let
Yeah,
me also remind you guys too, man. Yeah, you got a bunch of guys who wave that Confederate flag and fly that KKK shit, but the ones who are under the hoods, the ones whose faces you don't see, those are your
Con-
boys who are politicians.
politicians,
Kanye.
Those are
cops,
your guys
judges,
who are CIA, cops, FBI. Your big dudes are the ones under the hoods. Your judges, if you will.
judges.
So, it's no surprise that this case is being handled the way it is. So again, if they try him and convict him of murder, you know, I'm against people rioting, but if you riot in the right place, you can send the right message. A lot of these riots take place in the wrong areas because those
Yep.
areas,
Well, the wrong people
people don't
get
give a fuck.
it's like what's happened. Without changing the subject and staying right in the task here, it's kind of like what's happening with Israel and the Palestinians. It's kind of the same thing. Like I can understand your side and I can understand your side, but like all the innocent people that get caught in the middle is the issue that I understand. You know, and that's what happens with those situations. The wrong, what do you mean knocking down fucking courthouses and police stations and judges' houses and shit, not fucking the neighborhoods we live in and the stores that we buy our
Hmm.
goods from.
Do it where it's going to make a difference. And, again, I don't advocate for shit like that, but again, I don't like bullies bullying people. And hey,
Yeah, it sounds like these boys were definite, pretentious fucking think their shit don't stink.
Yeah,
Because
they're
they're
untouchable.
popular and you know what I mean. The parents probably got bred and high in the status class of that area and so on and so forth. That's the shit that this shit reeks of. It sucks that
hmm
he got pushed to that point. But at the end of the day, you,
because again, no one's going to help. So you got to do it for yourself.
yeah, yeah.
And not PSA to black folks. Learn a martial art, learn how to use your hands, go to the gun range, learn how to shoot. Don't just get a weapon just to have it. Learn how to use it. Because if you don't know how to use it, that shit can get taken from you and used on you. What are your thoughts, Marcus? What have you heard on this? How do you feel about this?
Just everything that y'all said is what I've heard. I mean, I wasn't there. I don't know what the situation was. It's unfortunate that Carmelo's in this situation. And it's unfortunate that this other child lost his life. But again, if they were bullying him, and mistreating him for however long, that's not cool. Like that's not justified. So I don't know. Like Rick had a good point. Is it like are they gonna try him on like premeditated murder, like murder one?
They're gonna try it.
Well, that's
But
what
at the
They're
same
gonna try.
time,
That's what they're doing.
that's
but
what
at
they're
the
making
same
all the
time,
evidence
it's like
for.
what option did he have if they're trying to jump on him? Jump him, beat him. Like Matt said, they could have killed him had he not protected himself. So I don't know. Like, when does it become like murder one, or is it more or less self defense? I don't care about him carrying a knife. Like I feel like people carry weapons all the time. Like everybody I know carries some kind of like form of a knife, whether it's a box cutter, little hunting knife, whatever. Like people carry these things,
I got all
and if
sorts of
he's being
blades.
yeah, and if he's being mistreated by these kids, then yeah, he stood up for himself. You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
don't
It's
think the
unfortunate.
charges are premeditated. I think it's just first degree
Mm.
is what they're trying to get him with.
Well, that's first degree is premeditated murder. So,
Okay, well,
Right.
first degree is premeditated. Second degree is like a crime of passion, and third is like manslaughter, where it was an accident.
It's unfortunate.
But you still were neglectful, like a DUI. Like if you hit somebody while you're drunk in your car, you weren't out to kill somebody, but your negligence led to that death. So you're still like punishable for it. But it's not the same as because again, this is where I know you're gonna probably bulk at me, Mark, Al, and it's how I have to teach my children that you have to be responsible for your actions. And there's a lot of things that he could have done in between. Again, it's very unfortunate what he's gone through and everything that I've seen in that. And I can't stand a fucking. You know how I feel about that shit. There's got to be adults responsible in this as well. This kid is gonna, even if he's in jail until he's 45 and doesn't spend his entire life in jail, that's still your life. You know what I mean? Like his entire life is basically all fucked now. And somewhere in there, there's an adult or adults that could have prevented this from happening. And and it's shame on all of us because he was old enough at this point that he should have had enough talking tos about how bullies are and go get somebody and tell somebody and that's what it's gonna and unfortunately that's what it's gonna come back to in court. It's gonna be
sometimes
just like
that shit don't work.
you
Sometimes that shit don't work.
and
I've
that's
seen it
what I'm saying.
firsthand.
Exactly.
I
If
gotta go tell you to help me, and then you talk to them, and it's good for
okay,
a week, and then they
and
come and try to get me again. What the fuck I'm gonna do? Sit there and take
that's
that shit?
100% of what I'm talking about. There's adults responsible because either A, he didn't tell nobody, right? Or B, he's told people and it
Oh,
got
folks knew.
ignored and neglected. And that's what I mean. If that comes out in court, that will help him. And then there's adults that need to be held responsible as well. But, we're taught from a very young age, like if you have the opportunity to avoid the fight and you go get in it, you now are partially liable. Whether it's justified about the fight or not is not even relevant at that point.
Well, I just hope he doesn't hire. Hopefully, Benjamin Crump doesn't get involved or whatever the hell
Yeah,
his name
man.
is.
Like I hope somebody
He
picks up this
needs.
case for him, but not one of those fucking guys.
If it isn't our boy who got Casey Anthony off, it needs to be a Jewish person that likes black people and willing to represent. Because anyone else that tries to help, it's not going to work. So if it isn't Baez, but preferably it should be a Jewish attorney. Gather all the facts, and he should be good to go.
What if these Protestants? Why can't it be Protestant? Why it's got to be Jewish?
Hopefully, because hey, man,
The Jewish lawyer is not going to do it for free, Al.
Well, hey, this is prime time, bro.
That's
This is
Rick on it.
prime
Rick at
time.
AOL.com.
And Jewish people run the world. That's Marcus at AOL.com. But hopefully I didn't want to get riled up on this, so I'm glad it didn't get too bad. But we'll see how this plays out. But for
I
those
hope they get
racists in
made
those
to look like
comments,
shit in court. That's my main thing, Al. Before you move on, I hope that a real good amount of evidence about how they were towards him comes out in court. Because if it doesn't, this is just going to be another black kid fucking killed a white boy. That's all it's going to be in court. Otherwise,
hopefully people don't start dying that know shit. We'll see.
I don't know.
We'll certainly see.
Yeah, hey, Hugh, I bought one.
Yeah. I sent Matt a picture in the chat asking him if he wanted one.
I told him yes, please.
They got one of those AI apps where you can make it for anyone, including yourself.
There's
Matt and Marcus, you guys want one of these?
I
Man, look.
do.
Yeah, it's like the blanket I send you guys, right?
Give it a
I don't
read
know
it.
who's gonna feel this way, but look, if you're a man that wears skinny jeans, you're not a man. And if you're sagging those skinny jeans, yeah, I don't. Just look up what sagging is.
What's the problem
You
with
know,
skinny jeans? They don't gotta be as tight as a pair of tights.
But Matt, you're younger though. Like your generation of kids.
My era was. I'm sure you would want to see that.
No, Matt was a Bob the Builder kid. He loved Bob the Builder. That was his thing.
But like when I was growing up and like Lil Wayne was a shit, he was wearing Vans and skinny jeans. So
well,
we
see,
all
Lil Wayne
kinda
was
grew
kissing
up.
dudes on the lips.
That don't mean
Wearing those
I can
same
wear
skinny.
I can wear a pair of skinny jeans and not kiss a dude on the lips. You
And
can
honestly,
do both. It's all right.
A man in
that was a
spandex.
while after, though. He was out for a minute.
Look, a man in spandex, just like dudes. Like if you're a dude with long hair and you're rocking a bun, yeah, you fall into that same category with dudes that
That's
rock the skinny
crazy.
jeans.
Why are
and
we
your sagging
calling me out today?
Oh, you be rocking a bun?
Man,
see,
2
my sister
years
loves
ago,
that shit too.
2 years ago, my shit was long as fuck. You see me wearing skinny jeans, man. They weren't
Yeah, but
tights though.
You have
They
the big
weren't
Jew
tights
bun.
though.
You had a big Jew bun. That wasn't like a little man.
I have long hair, but I don't wear a bun.
Yeah, look, buns, skinny jeans. For the lack of another, I don't know how else to put it. It's
I don't know.
girly.
Micah might have been right earlier.
How dare you, sir? How dare you, sir?
Uh-oh.
How dare you play those drums for him, babe? How dare you, babe?
It's getting nasty in here.
Just because my pants fit right don't mean that they're too small.
Look, that ain't fitting right. When that shit is tight.
Nah, see, I don't wear them like that. You ain't seeing my junk through my jeans.
Yeah, he doesn't sag them,
tight.
but he wore skinny jeans when they were popular.
I mean, they were tight, but they weren't like tights. It's not like I'm wearing a pair of fucking.
And you wear like workout pants most of the time, like.
If there's no air, going through them pants, yeah, that's girly. That's girly. Dudes shouldn't be walking around in ballerina clothes. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, see, I don't wear shit that tight.
And for the ones that be sagging it, dude, like, look up what that shit means, dude. All you're doing is telling the world your booty's available, dude. That's all you're doing.
See, I
That's
never do
all
no
you're
shit
doing.
like that either.
Pull your pants up, get a fucking belt, and stop wearing spandex if you're a man. Jesus.
My fat ass don't even need a belt no more.
There it is. There it is, okay? There you have it.
See, that's LeBron. Matt's not 30.
That's what you clowns look like to me. Well, hey, we want to thank you guys for joining us, listening. Please remember to like, subscribe, share. I teased something last week. We didn't cover it this week, as you know. A whole bunch of stuff.
He's coming out next week.
But next week, please tune in. We will be discussing the Black Mirror new season. And I believe the first episode of The Last of Us. I don't know how many they're going to drop, but we'll see what happens.
I think
we will
Last
be
of Us
discussing
is
Black Mirror.
3 per week, right?
I know it's on Max, and I know it drops every week, but I don't know if they drop 1 episode or 2 episodes the first week.
I feel like I read that it's 3 episodes is the first drop of Last of Us.
Oh shit, dude! The trailers looking great.
It looks amazing.
So yeah, So please tune in. We will be talking about that. Hugh, have a good evening, buddy. Appreciate you chiming in, brother. Signing off. I'm Al, joined by my brothers Marcus, Gabe, Rick, and Matt. Peace.